Good evening, everybody. Let me fix my audio. Oh, I always do that. There we go. Tonight we have the Super Metroid multi-category extension tournament race between ironrusty and Tilimorf. This is the losers bracket, which is to say they've already been eliminated from the winners bracket, and now they're duking it out to see who gets to go home. And they are off. It's Nintendo Power Percent tonight, which is an interesting category to say the least. Back in the day, Nintendo decided to release a guide on how to get through this game. They said if you get it in under 3 hours, you get the best ending, and then release this handy guide to finish the game in less than 3 hours. Can you believe it? 3 hours. Now, this has some peculiarity to it. Because we are following the Nintendo Power Guide, it's a very specific route that picks up very specific items in a very specific order. They have to kill bosses and pick up items in accordance with the guide, which has some weird things to it. For example, you pick up Gravity Suit, and then it says go to Meridia to get Spring Ball. Anyone who's played this before will understand that you normally need Space Jump. But these are speedrunners. They can wall jump. They don't need Space Jump. Let's check out the series times. Looks like a 43 for Tilly and a 43 for Rusty. So coming into this tournament, Tilly's the 10th seed, Rusty's the 15th. In Nintendo Power Percent specifically, Tilly's PB at the start of the tournament was about 4 minutes faster than Rusty's. But that was then, and this is now, and we have no idea what either of them are like now. And as they touch down and head into the parlor, we get our first glimpse of a moonfall from Tilimorf and Rusty right after. So both of them have moonfall on, which means both of them are going to be dropping through this room with lightning speed. None of that counting to 6 and moving over. Just clip through the platform and go. Rusty showing off that really cool gap skip strat for the pit room. Let me tell you, if you have problems getting through pit room without falling, try that gap skip method. It's a bit slower, but it's consistent. So here's our first look at definitely not an any percent run. Nintendo Power requires that they come over and pick up these blue Brinstar missiles. It's out of the way, but it does make the Bomb Chorizo fight an awful lot easier. chat talking about which major upgrades this route gets, and I'll be honest, I don't remember. I've only actually done this category a small handful of times. But I know it gets Spring Ball, and it doesn't use it for anything, and it gets Screw Attack. I also know it does pick up all 5 beams. And X-Ray, which is... I mean, for a guide? Why does a guide tell you to pick up X-Ray? If you're using a guide, what are you going to use X-Ray for? But that's what they said to do. Alright, let's take a look at these Bomb Chorizo fights. 5 extra missiles makes this a lot easier to do in one round, but that is the goal. One round for Tilly. And Rusty got headless. That's alright. Still only one round. And Tilly's doing that thing that I do way too often and just not getting the morph in Alcatraz. It always feels bad to miss that many times. Gives Rusty a chance to catch up a little bit. Let's see what Terminator strats they have for us. I think they're both using the same... Instead of the constant shooting, they're deliberate with the shots. Now, this being the Nintendo Power official guide, we are not going to see the runners pick up early supers. Because Nintendo Power didn't know you could do that at the time the guide was written. Now, we all know Deer Force knew you could, but Nintendo Power didn't know that. And, oh, I was hoping someone would show that off. Too bad got hit by the Ripper there, but that is such a cool moonfall you can do because you're skipping the early supers room. But it's fine. He's showing it off anyway. Now the runners have to come all the way down here, pick up missiles, pick up charge beam, and then they have to go all the way back up. Because they didn't grab early supers, they have to fight Spore Spawn. So now they're going to make their way all the way back up. To use efficient wall jumps and ledge grabs to make it up there. It's kind of an awkward room to get up. I think it was designed to teach the player, or force the player to learn in any case, how to move and jump. And here is Spore Spawn. This boss is worse than Fantoon for going invincible and wasting time. Oh, I think that was 3 for Tilimorf. In Spore Spawn RTA, you're going for a 2-round. Just trying to Doppler missiles into him the way you would with Fantoon. But no supers here means... not gonna happen. Nice. From both runners, getting more than one shot in a round, which gets harder and harder as Spore Spawn moves faster and faster. Seriously. This boss is so long. And don't need the drops. Tilly is up and out of there. Rusty will not be far behind. Yeah, there it is. He'll do the same thing. You don't need the drops. Just go. Nice moonfall from Tilimorf. You got to set that one up pretty quickly. Otherwise, well, you see what happens on Rusty's screen when the blocks respawn on you. It's not an easy moonfall to get. And already picked up charge. So they're going to hop through the tunnel. And out. There you go. Don't forget to pick up these missiles. It is a peculiarity of this category that everything has to be grabbed in order. It's not just that you need to pick these things up, it's that you need to pick them up in a specific order. So, you need to pick up the high jump E-Tank, high jump boots, and the high jump missile, for example, all in that order. Whereas, normally you can, if you want to, jump over the E-Tank and get it on the way out. I know personally I used to do that a lot as a way of timing the shot to kill the Sova in that room. But you can't do that, technically, in this category. You have to grab the E-Tank first. So there's a lot of weird stuff to think about. If this were a Nintendo Power % tournament, I don't think anybody would give it a second thought, but it's not. It is a multi-category tournament, so they've been running 69%, and all bosses, and North Korea, and this one, and whatever other one I didn't say, Max GT. So it can be really easy when you're switching categories like this all the time to forget. It'll be a while before we get to this, but another peculiarity is that, technically speaking, in this category, you must defeat Gold Chorizo before you pick up the super missiles in his room. See, there's Tilly going back for that E-Tank. I was just talking about that. Yes, this category picks up 49%. If you get to the end and it doesn't say 49, then you have not actually done a Nintendo Power % run. I'm not actually sure how the admins would handle it if someone were to pick something up out of order or not get 49% at the end. And this tournament has challenged them a little bit, as we've seen 69% runs end with 68. We have seen GT Max runs end with less than 135. Hopefully we won't have to worry about that, but something you would have to think about in this category for this race and no other kind of tournament, really. So as is the intended route of the game, drop down to Norfair to pick up high jump boots, come back up to say hi to Kraid. And classic grade quick kill from Tilimorf. Rusty entering the room now. See if he uses the same missile method. Oh, just a bit too high. He was going for the charge method. Shot Kraid in the upper lip, I suppose, instead of the mouth. I guess that's 2 DLC bosses we get to see today, because we just did see Spore Spawn. Alright, Kraid is down on Rusty's screen. Looked like he was going to skip the drops for a second there, and then thought better of it. Alright. Tilly going into Norfair, which is going to look... well, aside from already having high jump, it's going to look fairly similar to a lot of runs we've seen. He's going to have to pick up Cathedral missiles. Pseudo-screwing through the, whatever they're called, Garutas, I believe. Which is... I like to do that, personally. I always miss with the missiles. But other than that Cathedral pickup, it's just a straight shot to Bubble Mountain. To grab these missiles over here. I'm sure they have a name, I just don't know what they are. Bubble Mountain missiles, I guess. The last Norfair missiles. But they really aren't the last Norfair missiles in this category. So coming up for Tilly is another really strange choice in the guide that says to pick up the Norfair Reserve missiles and the Norfair Reserve itself immediately after grabbing Speed Booster. So, again, if you are familiar with how this game is intended to be played, you'd know you're supposed to have Grapple Beam for that. Or, you know, Space Jump. So it's strange that they would say, yeah, come out and do this impossible jump over to the other side of the room. So the way to do it, to charge that Shine Spark, down back through the room, and he didn't get the spark off in time. So there's a damage boost you can do off a waiver here to, or this wall jump. For a speedrunner, there's a couple of ways you can do this. There we go, he's up. I'm trying to think of, like Speed Booster is the next item on the list, but how are you supposed to get there? You'd have to go, like, down and through single chamber. God, it's been so long since I've done that. Yes, Rusty, thank you. Go pick up those speed missiles. I was about to say, oh no, we have an item out of order, but he got it. See if Rusty gets the spark into the Norfair Reserve area. Oh, looks like he's not even going for it. Which is understandable. It's a very tight spark to do. Went for the damage boost. Didn't quite get that. He's going to have to use the wall jump as the backup. And he's in. That was no problem for him. Oh, Rusty being careful. Pick up the reserve first, then the missiles. I don't have this route completely memorized, but I do know there are peculiarities like that. I said it's very easy to forget something. Muscle memory takes over, and you grab so many missiles you don't need in this category that it's so easy to forget a missile pack. Precious missiles is another one that a lot of people will accidentally forget their first few times through. Are we gonna see an Alpha Spark? Looks like it. There it is. Such a neat Shine Spark. And another one on Rusty's screen. That's not nearly as common, but it is a very quick way to get through that room. It's unfortunate that the crash animation takes so long. So the optimal strat is to jump and morph through the door. And if you land properly, you can get through faster than sparking. But that spark is definitely a viable alternative. Rusty going for the... Got it. The Ice Escape Mock Ball. Nothing in the Nintendo Power Guide that says you can't do that. So part of what takes so long in this category is being demonstrated on Tilimorf's screen right now. You'd normally go to wreck ship after picking up those power bombs, but no, we gotta go all the way back down. That is supposed to be your first power bomb pack, and then you gotta go fight Croc. So we leave Norfair, grab a single item at the top of the red tower, and come all the way back down. No, Rusty. Ripper's giving him a hard time here. There we go. Farming up some health. It was less than 100, so it makes sense. And no Vile Plumes, so that's a plus. Anytime you can get through there without getting Vile Plumed is a plus. I spoke too soon. It's okay, it was a different room. It's not the commentator's curse. On the other side, let's see how Tilly does against Croc here. Strongest weapon he's got right now is super missiles, but he's got a reason not to use too many of those. In as much as Croc's not really guaranteed to drop a whole bunch. And you kind of need those. They're in short supply. And Crocky Tank, which you pick up after the defeat of Crocomire. And while Nintendo Power was not specific on what that meant, the community has come to decide for themselves that it means after he's dropped into the acid. The fight is over at that point. He is defeated. You can pick them up. Or pick it up, rather. It's an E-Tank. And no Moonfall here. Looks like he was trying to set up for it and then overshot it. Oh yeah, another peculiarity. Those missiles that are supposed to be your reward for figuring out how to use the grapple beam, you gotta pick them up before you pick up the grapple beam. Somebody at Nintendo Power was not paying attention when they wrote this guide. Not quite the height he needed there. But with high jump boots, you can make that wall jump. There you go. And Rusty in the Croc fight. How well does Croc cooperate? So far, pretty good. And down goes Croc. Rusty gets to pick up his Croc tank. And Tilly falls down the shaft. Oops. The game intends you to grapple up to get these power bombs, which is why the guide decided to send you all the way up to the top of Red Tower to grab power bombs before coming down here. Of course, you need power bombs to get in here in the first place, unless you pick up Wave Beam early or do a glitch on the Blue Gate. So there's all kinds of things that speedrunners do all the time that if you don't think about it, right, you're not actually supposed to be able to do this. That wasn't the intended route. So again, the game expects you to loop around the bottom and come up single chamber, but Tilly's having none of that. He's getting to Wave Beam the good old-fashioned speedrunner way. the grapple escape or grapple exit mock ball from Rusty. That always looks cool to see. Now, if I recall, that's the end of the Norfair pickups for now. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I think that's it. And another Alpha Spark. I'm still going to call it Alpha, even though it's definitely not the first Spark of this category. There we go. There's something good you can say about this category. You can do Alpha Spark twice. So, heading into X-Ray, as we said earlier, it's a strange item to have on a route that's following a walkthrough. A walkthrough would presumably not have any use for an item that is intended to look for secrets. But here we are. Oh, dang yapping maws. On the other side, Rusty is exiting Wave. Let's see if he can get that. Yeah. That semi-tricky wall jump that everybody screws up every once in a while. Billy has been pulling ahead, bit by bit, little by little, since the beginning of this. It was pretty close, but looks like Rusty's got some catch-up to do. And he's gonna hope for it. I'm gonna say probably right here for his Alpha Spark. Gets it just fine. No slowing down for him. And a very clean red tower climb into the X-ray room. X-ray hall. And Tilly is at Moat. There will be no CWJs, bomb jumps, ocean flies, or other weird tech to get across. This category has grapple beam. It's just going to get across the normal way, and Rusty needs to be careful. Spikes hurt. What is Nintendo Power Percent? Nintendo Power Percent is the only category in Super Metroid speedrunning that allows you to truly get the power. It follows a guide released by Nintendo Power Magazine in 90s, 94 maybe? All of the item pickups have to be done in a very specific order, the order specified in that guide. All of the boss fights have to be done in that same order. It is not a true Nintendo Power % run unless you do everything in that order. If the runners do everything properly and don't forget anything or grab anything extra, they will end with 49%. But unlike 69%, the other weird, well, one other weird category in this tournament, it's not enough that they end with the right percentage. Everything has to be picked up in the right order. And that can lend itself to errors every once in a while. The most notable that I can think of is that Gold Chorizo must be defeated before you pick up the Super Missile Pack in his room. And since this is a tournament, our runners have been running several different categories, and you do in fact defeat Gold Chorizo in at least one other, in Max GT. A lot of runners will also do it in 69%. And yeah, in both of those cases, there is nothing stopping you from picking up that Super Missile Pack first. So if they muscle memory and pick up that pack first, they are technically doing it out of order. And this and I believe Club Nintendo % is another one. I think they're the only categories that I can think of where the order in which you pick up the items matters. Yes, chat pointing out, Rusty's got to be careful about his health coming into Fantoon here. He does have Variasuit, which, if you're used to watching new route runs, for example, his health is, compared to Power Suit Samus, his health is technically double what it looks like, but I don't know what Rusty is used to doing, so he may feel he's in trouble, he might not. I was so busy talking about the category, I didn't say anything about Tilly's Fantoon fight. So, let's talk about Rusty's. Right off the bat, we have a right. Slow. Thanks, Fantoon. 2 missiles. 2 missiles. Looks like he's going for a Doppler. Nice. Very nice Doppler setup. I didn't see how many missiles connected, but more than 2, which is good. Oh, another slow. Fantoon not being kind to Rusty right now. Ooh, another great Doppler attempt there. Left. It's probably going to be a slow. Just barely doesn't get it there. By the color of Fantoon, I haven't been counting shots, but by the color of Fantoon, it looks like he's 1 super away. Yeah, there he's down. Unfortunate patterns for Rusty, but he did not die, and that was our major concern there, so still in this. So, Tilly picking up the ocean missiles, and I believe the next pickup that the route requires is Spring Ball. If not, it's coming up soon. I don't have the route sitting in front of me to reference, and like I said earlier, I've only played this a couple of times. So this is another one of those weird pickups that Nintendo Power decided you should pick up Spring Ball right now. It's really out of the way. It's a fantastically fun item to mess around with, but like it's so out of the way that if you're trying to beat the game as quickly as possible, as this route was intended to do, it's a weird pickup to begin with. But to pick it up now, before Dragon, before Space Jump, is, well, somebody at Nintendo Power was not paying attention. Ooh. It was a good spark from Rusty, but sometimes that Key Hunter and Attic just doesn't cooperate. Ooh. That is not what I expected to see there. Tilly has a full reserve, so I don't think he's in any danger of... Or not. I thought that reserve was more full than it was. Oh, Tilly. Oh, no. Very careful here. Both runners low on health at the moment. Rusty should be fine to get down. He has the option of taking the Sloater's refill on his way to Meridia. He might choose to skip it, if only because... Well, he probably knows he's behind. And good play from Tilly. Power bombing. Not leaving anything up to chance here. Everything in Meridia hits way harder than you expect it to. No doubt Tilly's sitting there watching Shacktool do his thing, thinking, well, where do I find more health? Going straight to Spring Ball out of Wrecked Ship is, yeah, can be pretty dangerous if your health is low. I'm sure Nintendo Power didn't intend for your health to be that low. It's just, we are speedrunners, and we do things like Attic Sparks and deliberately take damage on Fantoon to set up X Factors and all kinds of other weird things that 100% chance they didn't think we would be doing. Oh, boy. Okay. What is Tilly going to do? Okay, that's one. Gonna have to be very slow and careful here. Rusty, with all that extra health from the refill, can attempt the Shine Sparks. They're very tight sparks, but if he gets them, there's two you can do in a row here, and they are very impressive. Well, it looks like he went for it and accidentally launched it, but the idea is to carry it into this room and open the door to spark through the room Rusty's in now. But cannot fault him for missing it. It's such a hard spark to get. But boy, is it ever cool when you can get it. Second one is right here, and I believe it requires at least a stutter 3, maybe even a stutter 4. So, another one that is very forgivable to not get. So Tilly's gonna come pick up the Mama Turtle E-Tank. And there's the sigh of relief. There now we can relax a little bit. Oh man, that health. But he did it. So, very nice. Very nicely done. Congratulations to Tilly for making it out of there. Dang crab. Rusty's gonna grab Spring Ball here. Wonder how much use you really get out of Spring Ball in this run. Lower nor fair, I suppose, if you know all those GT Classic tricks. So needing nothing else in this area, Tilly's doing the classic Everest Spark and heading up here. At the very least, you have to get Aqueduct. And I think... yeah, just Aqueduct before going to Bot Wound, grabbing the Bot Wound E-Tank, and then don't forget Precious Missiles. Spring Ball lets you conserve bombs. Oh my god. Alright, I was too busy looking at the route. Tilly did turn off his beams. He's going to go for the decalled X Factor here and accidentally turn on that X-ray and screw up the timing. That's gotta feel bad. I don't like X-ray. It messes me up in exactly the same way too often. But despite that, that was not a very long Bot Wound fight, and on he goes to pick up the Bot Wound E-Tank. Rusty's gonna head to Mama Turtle. Gonna go for the spark up. Because if nothing else, Rusty is a fan of swag strats. Seeing lots of sparks from him. See if he's going to get the spark back up through the fish tank. And there it is. Like I said, swag strats. Tilly not forgetting Precious Missiles before the Dragon fight. And Rusty getting trolled by the crab exactly the same way that Tilly did. Oh, there. There was a use for Spring Ball right there. Not saying Spring Ball isn't cool, just that it's a strange pickup to be required in a walkthrough that is intended to be the fastest way through the game, or a fast way through the game in any case. Crustacean 7 is raiding with a party of 13. Welcome, C7. Raiders just joining us. This is the Super Metroid Multi-Category Extension Tournament. This is the losers bracket race between ironrusty and Tilimorf. They're running Nintendo Power Percent. The winner of this moves on to losers bracket round 3 with absolutely no no indication of what's going on. We haven't made it that far yet. The loser of this one is unfortunately out of the tournament. I think Rusty's just sparking now because he can. Very nice strat in Cack Alley from Tilimorf for farming the extra supers. Very nice and quick. And a nice bot wound kill from Rusty, who is now picking up the bot wound E-Tank. And based on what I've seen so far, I've kind of... Okay, he's going through this way. Wants to farm up probably super missiles before Dragon. Oh, no. Yeah, short charge, and he's going for the halfie by the look of it. Just one of those tricks that the slightest thing goes wrong and you have lost it. Nice backups in Coliseum from Rusty. Not too much trouble. I mean, I'd say, oh, they weren't optimal, but, like, there's, like, maybe 5 people in the whole universe who can get through that room optimally when they miss the spark. Alright, let's see how Rusty does here against Dragon. Not using the X Factor opener, but it does look like he's setting up for the 3-spark method. Just by the look of it. Nice, that was right through Dragon's neck. You got to see her change colors there. And ballistics in the second round. Yeah, you have so many missiles, just start firing. Not like you're gonna run out. And down goes Dragon. Alrighty, space jump pickup for Rusty. Now he has no blue suit or spike suit. He may attempt to womple out of Coliseum. And Tilly is going for the chronic boost, which didn't quite happen, but man, it's a tight damage boost to do. So, back up by the flame boost. He's definitely got enough health for it. It's not that much slower at all. And into Lower Norfair. You see Tilly switching off Various suit there. It's because he doesn't need it anymore. And he's going to want Mother Brain to do a bit more damage because you have so many E-Tanks in this category. So another peculiarity. Nintendo Power Percent says you have to grab the GT missiles, then defeat Gold Chorizo, then grab the supers. So, what happens if you accidentally fall down and don't pick up the missiles? You're forced to fight Gold Chorizo at that point. There is no way to go back around without defeating Gold Chorizo first, which, in an actual Nintendo Power Percent run, technically means you haven't done it. But no worries about that. Tilly got it. Now he's going to try to force GT up against that wall and fire plasma shots up. And he's timing it so that GT gets hit twice with each plasma wave that comes by. Makes for a very fast fight. Yeah, you could always space-time out. I think space-time might be banned. And yes, Spring Ball is the safest way to get across to the GT missiles. So all you gotta do is hold the jump button and it'll work. As opposed to Space Jump that... Man, Space Jump is so polarizing. I find people either love it, it's their favorite item, or they're like me and they're like, I use it because it's faster, but I hate it. It fails at the worst of times. Like that room that Tilly is in right now. That's a common spot for a Space Jump to fail. I think he totally meant to spin jump there, and instead just slam straight into the Key Hunter. With this much health, it's not really an issue. Screw Attack allows for some slight lag reduction strats. Take out the enemies in the room to make the power bomb go off a bit faster. And despite having plasma, looks like Tilly is more comfortable with the Shine Spark method. And both pirates are down very quickly. Rusty going for... same problem that Tilly had. Chronic Boost just isn't free. And just like in Old Route, 20 shots and Ridley is down. You can even supplement with super missiles if you really want to, save a couple of seconds. Because Ridley is weak to supers, and because you can fire supers at a much faster rate than you can fire charge shots, it is technically still the fastest way to take out Ridley, even with a full beam combo, but only slightly. And there goes Ridley. Very nice fight from Tilly. Just tanking hit after hit after hit to get as much damage in as quickly as possible, because again, with this much health and knowing you have to pick up this E-Tank afterwards, there's really no point in trying to dodge Ridley's attacks. Just charge and slam into him. And GT missiles, no problem for Rusty either. And Tilly gets the speedball out of there. And he's showing off a really nice Lower Norfair exit. Spring ball strats. And Rusty going for another swag spark. Picking up that screw attack and sparking up. I wonder what this guy's time in Eternal Spike Suit is. Another spark from Rusty as he gets fast pillars. Suppose it's not technically fast pillars because you're charging it from the Green Gate room, but I'm going to call it that anyway. These Lower Norfairs have been impressive so far. I say so far as Tilly is literally exiting Lower Norfair right now. It was an impressive Lower Norfair. The Ridley E-Tank is the last item that they need to pick up. So Tilly's going to head to Turian now, and it's just going to look like, basically like an any percent run, except he has screw attack. We'll see whether he chooses to keep it on. There are runners that prefer to have screw attack off. It changes what strats are available to you in the Metroid rooms, and also the way you can Zeb skip. Alright, Rusty entering Ridley. After making very quick work of the entirety of Lower Norfair on the way in. 20 shots, and we'll see an exploding Space Charizard. I am aware that Ridley came first. Before anybody tries to tell me that. So we have that awesome speed boost into a space jump through Parlor on Tilly's screen, and an exploding Ridley on Rusty's. And Rusty picking up item number 49. We all get so impatient in this statue room. Jump around, bomb jump around, shoot shots, moonfall into nothing. Everybody does it. Everybody. And we're all just sitting there going, hurry it up. Rusty setting up for the speedball. Ah, not quite. That's a real tight mock ball to do. Metroid drops are less important in this category than they would normally be because of all the extra missiles, but Tilly's super count is a bit low. Supers still are the fastest way to defeat Mother Brain 1, but it really does not matter with this many missiles. Setting up for baby skip over here, too. Ooh, nice mock ball on Rusty's screen. Get out of single chamber. All right. Let's go, Tilly. Show us that baby skip. That's good. Getting all the right... Oh, just barely. But he turned Various Suit off earlier, so it doesn't take nearly as long to drain the health. For whatever reason that I'll never know, Various Suit affects the damage dealt by the baby in this scene. Not gravity, though. It's, I guess, the same programming as Rainbow Beam. The only other attack in the game that will check for Various Suit, but not gravity. Ooh, Tilly's trying for the down back Zeb skip, which is kind of tight. Doable, but doesn't want to turn off that screw attack. Yeah, after a few attempts, he says, you know what? Never mind. Just do the normal Zeb skip. And even that one's trolling him. Yeah, it's a good thing he's got all these extra E-tanks, because the turrets and the Rinkas are really sniping him a lot. Man, what is going on? That looked like it should have been good. It's like Rusty's messing around with the wraparound shot on his screen. I guess he's given up. Alright, Tilly's resetting the room. I have no idea what is going on, and I'm sure he doesn't either. Oh, he's gonna go back to refill. What a strange situation. I don't think I've seen that happen before. This is a Super Metroid race, though. We always say anything is possible. Is Rusty going through Gauntlet just because he can? What a memer. Yeah, it looks like Rusty's decided he can't catch up now. So he's just having fun with it. Which is really what all this is all about, having fun with it. Now that said, he's not completely out. And we have seen people die at Mother Brain, even in Hundo. That said, if that happens to Tilly, it won't really matter how far behind Rusty is. And Mother Brain has exactly the same hit point total as Ridley, so it's 20 shots and she is down. She'll start ketchuping after shot number 15. I suppose 16, the 16th shot. And that's it. That was the game's final boss, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. So on Rusty's screen, a little example of what I was talking about, how Screw Attack can change the way you go through the Metroid rooms. He has Screw Attack on, and spin jumps, and the Metroid gets close to him, and then nopes out of there. You can't damage the Metroids with Screw Attack, but they are still scared of it, and will run away if you're in Screw Attack. Well, if you're spin jumping with Screw Attack equipped. Very nice stand-up from Tilly so far. There are... I have heard it said there are 5 do's and 500 don'ts of stand-up glitch. And that's one of them right there. Do bring that Metroid over to the right side of the screen. Because it is entirely possible to get it stuck on the left side of the screen, and when that happens, Mother Brain can't actually hit it. She'll aim the onion rings, but the onion rings won't angle properly to hit the baby. And then you're just sitting there and you're stuck there forever. Tilimorf is one escape sequence away from taking this win. Which I'm sure means we're going to see Rusty do something funny. At least I hope it does. Oh, nice spring ball strat there in the Turian Ghidorah room. Ah, Tilly going for that blue bomber. Not quite getting it. Normally you would Shine Spark up there, but with a combination of high jump boots, speed booster, and spring ball, you can do a speed ball and jump up. And it's slightly faster and also just cool. So are Moonfalls. And left side sparks. And that is it for this race. Tilimorf is finishing in first place with an official race time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 37 seconds. GG Tilimorf. And Rusty's not too far behind. Just a Mother Brain 3 fight away. Yep. Just memeing for the heck of it. It'd be an interesting Easter egg if X-raying Mother Brain actually did anything. We do have a forfeit from Rusty, so he's just messing around. See if I can bring up the...
Hello.
We're joined by Tilimorf here. Sorry, I didn't even see you come in. I was playing with the controls. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a well-run. I didn't see any major mistakes or any real issues. You knew what you were doing and you went for it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run. I definitely felt nervous getting to spring ball, and I don't know why I couldn't Zeb skip for some reason. But other than that, I felt like it was overall a great run.
Yeah, those were really the only two spots. I noticed the low health, and then you had that under control with freezing the Eviers. Eviers? I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I got...
And then, yeah, that was the weirdest Zeb skip. It happens sometimes, though. So, yeah, are we gonna get Rusty in here? I'm not sure what's going on. But, yeah, what else can you tell us about what we were thinking during that run? Oh, we're joined by Rusty here, too.
GG, Rusty.
Thanks for the races.
Yeah, GG, Rusty.
They were fun.
Thanks for putting on a show. All those shine sparks.
It was pretty fun.
Did you
all the
start
extra running around, you have to do some more shine sparks. Some of those I main anyway, just because I don't like jumping.
I was about to ask, do you normally do all of that, or is it just because I said you're going for swag strats?
No, most of those I usually go for. The one in the ice hallway is pretty unique. I don't remember what other goofy shine sparks I did. Oh yeah, I accidentally messed up the spark trying to get towards spring ball, but I've never really gotten that one to work anyway. But I figured I was behind, I might as well go for it.
Makes sense to me. Honestly, I was impressed you were even going for it, because it's such a tough one to get.
Well, I got to Rainbow Beam Mother Brain, so that's something too.
Yep. And got to show off going through Gauntlet to get to Turian just because.
Isn't that part of the route? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong category.
I like it.
Oh, man. Well, in any case, GG both of you. It was a really good run from both of you. I mean, no point in finishing once you've decided to start memeing around.
Well, let's see. I got to kill my Yapper in a Nintendo Power Run. That's good. I got that Yapper crash in my first race in this tournament, and it's all, keeps haunting me. So I have to keep killing that Yapper.
Anything to give yourself a signature.
Yeah, I guess I've got a few signature moves by now.
Oh man, the run is so long that I'm forgetting what it was I wanted to ask you about. Ugh. Chat, help me out. I don't think they're going to.
I'm not sure. I've never had very good success with the X Factors, so I mean, yeah, any % all bosses is a pretty weak category for me. And this is another one where it's possible, or where it's useful to do those kind of X Factors on Fantoon, even on Dragon a little bit. I've gotten the bot wound one, but I mean, in my mind, it's almost not worth trying to pause because you don't really need the supers for too much more.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I did note that you were going for an X Factor less Dragon fight.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely makes sense in a category with this many supers to not bother with it for bot wound. You can still one round him if you're fast enough.
Yeah, it was kind of I had a weird pattern, I think. Oh yeah, I also sparked into that room. That was just funny. Yes. I had a spark going, and I was like, well, Let's just throw it in that corner just to show it off.
Just because.
I don't think
Yeah,
you
that
can
was
spark
great.
bot wound. There's no way you can keep the spark that long. But I was like, well, nobody ever sparks into this room.
I don't think he takes damage from sparks anyway. I think it's just Raygon. Like,
Well, I'm
every
sure
other
people
boss
figured
is
that
immune.
stuff out.
It was great to watch you have so much fun with it. And just sparking everywhere, and then X-raying Mother Brain, and it's always great to see that. And again, Tilly, congratulations on the win. You are not out of this tournament yet. I have no idea who you're up against next, though, because that has not been decided yet. It's either going to be...
Yeah, I think it's pending a few other people winning or losing.
Yeah,
I
it
think
says,
we're a little bit ahead of the other rounds.
Yeah, it says the loser of Mr. Guy Average versus P-Toil. Is that what that says?
Yes, that
Yes,
is
okay.
what I see as well.
Okay, so that's going to be a tough one no matter what.
Yeah.
And Rusty, I'm sorry to say, this is it. You're going golfing.
I know. I'll have to play more rando or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be another
good
tournament
choice.
just around the corner.
My signature these days has been to roll up the vanilla settings on Varia site, but to put the percent of items at 49. I figured that's Nintendo Power inspired. Especially if you put it on slow progression.
Yeah, now that you say that, for a route that is supposed to be meant for speedrunning, it sure does take a while. Tilly just finished with a 1:15, and that's a good time for this category. I don't think I have anything else for you.
Well, thanks for the races, Tilly, and good luck with the rest of the tournament. Have fun.
Yeah, thank you as well for the races. They were all a lot of fun. I hadn't raced any of these 3 categories besides GT Max yet, so I was happy to get both of the Nintendo Power and North Korea in.
Cool.
GG's to both of you. A big thank you to both of you for racing and allowing us to do this stream in the first place. Always, we can't do these streams without runners. We also can't do this without the volunteers working in the background, so shout outs to the SpeedGaming crew who set all of this up. And all I do is sit in front of this microphone and talk. All of the actual background stuff is done by someone else, so big thank you to them. I think that's going to be it for us. So thanks again, runners, and we'll see everybody next time.